Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the title of our next session is Integrating the System Center Components, the Universe at Your Feet. Let me welcome Mike Resseler, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Microsoft evangelist from Veeam Software again on the stage. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me in this session. Thank you for introducing me. And today we're going to talk about the System Center Suite. So I'm sure that during this day you already had a lot of great information. You had the keynote where they explained the private cloud, Windows Azure Pack. I've seen a great session by Cameron talking about Operations Manager. At the same time, there was a session for Orchestrator, SMA. We saw now Martin talking about hybrid clouds, and so on and so on. But in the end, what they're doing at that moment, and what is necessary, of course, is they're talking about a little component of the System Center Suite. Now, from the moment you've got a few components running in your environment, you have to start thinking about integration. Bringing those different components together and bringing the work that one component does, get that information into another component so you don't have to do that work twice, or your system don't have to do that work twice. And this is what this session is about, integration. Now, be aware, what you're going to see is when you want to go full integration, well, you probably will want to run out of this room and say, I'll never start this. I'm going to talk to you about the 80-20 rule, which means 80% will be done with only 20% effort. And that's what we're going to try to achieve, and that's what I'm going to try to explain how you can start this. On our agenda, first I'm going to talk about what I mean about integration. Very simple. And then I'm going to give you the full view of how you can integrate the different System Center components to each other. That will be the slide where you will all run away. Stay with me for a little bit longer, because then I'm going to start breaking them up into the different components and show you what you can use easily in your environment with the least amount of effort and the biggest results. And at the end, we'll see if we have some time for Q&A. All right, so what is integration, right? If you look at IT, and no, I didn't invent this, I stole this from Wikipedia. It says system integration is the process of linking together different computing systems and software application. That is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take Operations Manager, we're going to take Orchestrator, Virtual Machine Manager, Data Protection Manager, even Configuration Manager, and bring them together. That's what we're going to do. Now, before we actually do that, you have to think about this slide. And I assume you have seen this one before, probably even multiple times before. But this is the vision of the private cloud of Microsoft. And you have the point where you have the app owner on the left who just wants to have some self-service, wants to deploy a virtual machine, wants to create a user, wants to do some stuff without calling IT. And then in the middle, we've got service delivery and automation. Basically, what does it mean? If that woman on the left wants something, she should not be able to log it into a website and then still wait for the IT guy. It should run all automatically. However, when we look at service delivery, and I know we're IT guys, we don't like the terms ITIL and that kind of stuff, but you know, it exists. We just want to log it somewhere so we can see what's happening. And then we have everything in the back. That's us. Making sure we can configure new applications, new virtual machines, deploy those kind of things. Whether this is in the public cloud, whether this is in the private cloud, whether it's in a virtual server, or even a physical server. We need to do that work. And from the moment it's all running, that's not enough. We need to make sure that we can monitor, operate it. So for all of these parts, Microsoft has a solution. Has a component within that System Center Suite. Service Manager, App Controller, Orchestrator, Virtual Machine Manager, Operations Manager, Configuration Manager, and Data Protection Manager. Now, how are we going to be sure that they start working together, right? Now, before I actually show you, the first thing I want to give you here is this: think different. Why do I say that? Is because the way our IT departments have been built for many years is in silos. And this is what illustrates that. That is my actual boss, so don't tell him I used his picture.